Netflix just released The Umbrella Academy, and we're going to review it right here on the Miscast Academy.
Oh, God. Oh.
Here's Johnny. I love the smell of makeup in the morning.
Get to the chopper! Say hello to my little friend!
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
This is Sparta!
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Welcome back, you Miscast miscreants, to another episode of Miscast Movie Reviews with your host, Greg Farrow.
Just call me number 8.
And your other host, DJ Valentine.
I'm 69.
And this host right here, the superhero also known as William Davis Moore.
Supervillain, more likely.
Definitely. Butcher of Boca, definitely a supervillain.
The Butcher of Boca.
That's it. There you go. We're going back to that well.
Well, I'm like the horror. I got stuff that comes out of me from another dimension.
The horror.
So we're reviewing The Umbrella Academy, just released on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I have adopted 6 children, gifted with abilities far beyond the ordinary. I give you the Umbrella Academy.
I jumped forward and got stuck in the future. Do you know what I found? Absolutely nothing.
There's someone out there who's trying to stop me from preventing the apocalypse.
We need the full force of the Academy.
Bingo.
Get up, we're going.
Where?
Save the world.
Oh, is that all?
We're maybe a week late to the party, but hey, who cares?
Probably takes that long for everybody to get through it anyway. So
yeah,
you know.
it's 10 episodes of madness. I'm pretty good with the 10 episode lineup that Netflix has been starting.
Perfect. Yeah, better than 13. Doesn't quite have that lull.
It's got a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes based on 58 critics, which I guess is pretty good considering the pacing of this series. And it's got no audience score yet, which is not surprising.
Interesting. I did not know that.
People are still watching.
People are loving it though.
I gotta say that I don't think it had a lot of marketing. Not a lot of people I talk to even know it exists.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They really should have marketed it a little harder for as good as it is. So
For sure.
Yeah.
Netflix usually is you're scrolling. Hey, what's that? That's essentially how people.
Yeah, like pops up like all of a sudden. Oh,
That's
look,
Umbrella Academy.
what's this
That's
new
about
show?
as much marketing as they can afford, really.
You got to turn that notification on in Netflix so that they can tell you like this show is next, or you're never gonna know.
No.
It's
Right.
buried in that thing.
Right.
Hey, Greg, you want to break down?
Yeah. So
who's
let's
in
go
this shit?
through. Let's go through it. So Umbrella Academy was created by. This is something I didn't know until it came out. It was created by Gerard Way, the former lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
Right.
Okay. He used to write this comic book while they were out on tour, and it's illustrated by Gabriel Ba. I used to see interviews with. I saw a few interviews with Gerard Way before I didn't even know who he was because I don't know My Chemical Romance at all. I was like, who is this? This little tiny pudgy looking dude here,
Right.
And then I find out he's a rock star. I was like, okay, all right, fine. Anyway, so it stars Tom Hopper from Game of Thrones. He played Dickon Tarley, Sam Tarley's brother in Game of Thrones. So he plays Luther Hargreeves, a.k.a. Number One, a.k.a. Space Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Space Boy.
Big boy.
An astronaut with super strength. Also stars David Castaneda as Diego Hargreaves, a.k.a. Number Two, a.k.a. the Kraken.
The Kraken.
Expert with the knives.
Yeah.
Emmy Raver-Lampman as Allison Hargreaves, a.k.a. Number Three, a.k.a. the Rumor.
Nice.
Okay. Also stars Robert Sheehan as Klaus Hargreaves, a.k.a. Number Four, a.k.a. the Seance.
AKA gonna win an award.
Yeah, he was great. You know, before we go on, I have to say I was really disappointed that they didn't really use their nicknames very much.
No.
If at all.
Yeah.
Aidan Gallagher as Number Five, a.k.a. the Boy.
The boy.
AKA another award.
AKA breakout performance.
Yes.
Okay. Justin H. Min as Ben Hargreaves, a.k.a. Number Six, a.k.a. the Horror.
Yeah.
Underutilized. Ellen Page as Vanya Hargreaves, a.k.a. Number 7, a.k.a. the White Violin.
The White Violin.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yep.
Pretty much.
So, if you're watching this is a spoiler review.
For sure. Spoiler review.
Combe Fiore as Sir Reginald Hargreeves, a.k.a. the Monocle. Okay?
A.k.a. Chronicles of Riddick, a.k.a. Thor, a.k.a.
Yeah, a.k.a.
I loved
The
him in
Prodigy.
the Chronicles of Riddick. By the way.
These are his final moments.
Yeah. Yeah. You got Mary J. Blige as Cha-Cha, one of the assassins. You got Cameron Britton as Hazel, Cha-Cha's partner.
Hazel and Cha-Cha.
Hazel and Cha-Cha, they were awesome.
Yes.
They were awesome. And John Magaro from Overlord as Leonard Peabody, a.k.a. Harold Jenkins. And Adam Godley as Pogo.
Let's start straight off the bat with, like, this production it's movie quality.
Oh, yeah.
Not only did it take a long time to make, but they dumped a shit ton of money into this.
Yeah.
The effects are up on the level of Marvel, man.
Oh, listen.
Like,
you got to go.
crazy.
When you go to Pogo, first of all, Pogo is, for those that you don't know, is like the chimpanzee, sentient chimpanzee, talking chimpanzee butler for the Umbrella Academy. And they got Weta Digital to use this.
Right.
They did all the Planet of the
Clearly they got Weta Digital to use it because
they
it's
did
They're
all,
the only ones that could do shit like that.
He did all the Planet of the Apes movies. And according to showrunner Steve Blackman, it still took them, even though Weta Digital had all the assets from Planet of the Apes movies, still took them 12 weeks per shot to render.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you see the detail in his skin? I mean, there was no way to tell that was not a real monkey.
Yeah.
Not monkey, I'm sorry, chimpanzee.
Right.
I stared at it for a good long time. I mean, coming from an animation background, which is pretty much where I started in the beginning, I can appreciate that shit. And I'm telling you, man, the technology that went into that, you can tell is probably half the budget.
Total big budget movie quality.
I think you guys are really. I mean, they're talking about it, but they're not really underlining the point. Umbrella Academy makes Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist look like me going, "Hey, Iron Man, you wanna have an adventure?" That's essentially the budget on that show is annoying to me at how big it is. It's like, wait a minute, Daredevil's like in one room.
Yeah.
And they're on the moon. There's a walking, talking chimpanzee.
Right.
There's a tentacle monster that's used occasionally.
The horror.
The horror. There's all types of crap. And it's like, man, this takes them 18 months to shoot a show.
Yeah.
And then you got any other Netflix, even Doom Patrol, which I just watched.
Which I have not seen yet.
I watched the first pilot. It's like on a set. You can just tell it's like a Universal set. And this thing is like, I would love to know the budget.
Let's go into
rival probably Game of Thrones, I would say.
Well, even just the score. The score is fucking amazing.
That was one of the highlights.
Expensive music.
It's so good though.
That was one of the highlights. Let me run through some of these things here. You had basically in the first 2 episodes alone. You had I Think We're Alone Now by Tiffany. You had Run Boy Run. You had The Phantom of the Opera. You had They Might Be Giants. Istanbul, Not Constantinople. You had Radiohead. At one point in the series, you had Mary J. Blige doing a cover of Rod Stewart.
Right.
You had even music from The Shining.
Yeah.
In this show.
Well, I wasn't even talking about that because that is right there impressive as hell.
Yeah.
I was just talking about the orchestra.
The score itself.
Yeah, my God,
They didn't crimp on like
no.
They got a real
that was movie quality orchestral score.
The only bad thing about it is that we're gonna have to wait a long time for another season just for them to make minimum like 18 months to do it just to get all that stuff. Though spoiler alert. You're not going to have to worry about certain characters anymore. And well, no, you might because they do time travel.
Yeah. So
we don't know where the hell they're going. It's going to probably be another 18 months just to even exercise this budget, which is fucking astronomical.
The Monocle's coming back, and
they got to go into his backstory because he's supposed to be he's an alien.
He's
well,
an
if you do that,
alien.
you're gonna have Pogo, which this is what I'm kind of alluding to. Is like you're gonna have Pogo again, which again, how much do you say it costs per shot? It's like
12 weeks. Per shot to render.
That's not cheap,
well, I don't. That's
man.
not. Even, I'm not even going to the cost.
Well, here's the deal, guys. I mean, so Disney's pulling all their content from Netflix. Netflix is literally terrified right now.
Right.
So what they're doing is they're dumping everything they've got into their own shit, and this is their first spearhead for their own like Daredevil kind of thing because once Disney pulls all their animations, you can see the writing on the wall. And I heard WB is starting a streaming service. Netflix is seriously in a bad place right now, and they really want to shine.
Do you think season 2 will be as expensive as a show that literally blows up the moon?
Well, I think
That was so cool.
It's awesome. It became the most watched streaming show.
Really?
I think of all time when this happened. Maybe most watched streaming show. Maybe
it did well.
It did great.
Understated.
It did great, and it's got great ratings, and people are loving it. So let me ask you guys this: what were some of the highlights of this show for you?
I'm going with Robert Sheehan, who you mentioned earlier, who I've been on his case since Misfits. I don't know if anybody's seen the.
I love Misfits.
Yeah, he's been on a whole bunch of. I think he was in Mortal Engines.
He was in Mortal Engines,
which is horrible, but it's not his fault.
No,
I've seen Misfits, and if you liked him in Umbrella Academy, Misfits is like dialed up because it's more about. I mean, he's really good in this show.
Well, I don't know how you can dial him up more than he was in this show.
They use him more in Misfits than they're using him in Umbrella Academy. One of my regrets is that they didn't focus on the seance more.
Yeah,
because you could have did a whole show about seance at a time in Vietnam. I gotta watch a whole series about that.
Well, he has a completely different power structure in the comics.
They kind of. I mean, Space Boy is they got rid of pretty much all the alien stuff, unless they're gonna.
We'll
go into the difference, but let's stick to the show.
Go ahead.
Robert Sheehan, I really love, and Cameron Britton, who I first heard of and saw in Mindhunter, which is
great.
He's in Barry for like 5 seconds, the TV show Barry on HBO, but he's really good in Mindhunter, and in this. I know you guys like Hazel and Cha-Cha, and here comes my reveal. I like Hazel. I do not at any point like Cha-Cha.
Really? Mary J. Blige is your miscast. Your miscast character.
Mary J. Blige is great in Mudbound, and everybody loves Mary J. Blige. She's one of the greatest singers of all time. But every time I watched her in this show, I was kind of like, man, this would have been great if it was Queen Latifah. This would have been great if it was, Tessa Thompson. It's just, I never.
Whoa, Tessa Thompson would have been so good.
I just didn't. Cameron's giving really good performances.
Yes.
And when it just felt like she was reading to me. Like she was just, I never bought any of her emotions.
She's still a novice actress.
Again, I don't 100% blame her. She didn't ruin the show for me.
Right. She was
like,
fine.
Man,
she was okay.
Yeah. Their relationship is really good, and I think it could have been strong.
Yeah.
Especially during the climax of the show, if we had a more experienced actress in there.
Okay, I buy it.
Again, it's
minor.
It's a nitpick.
Yeah.
But Robert Sheehan and Cameron Britton are the standouts for me.
Okay, and what about you? What were your highlights for you, William?
The special effects, obviously, the score. I already brought that up. Those right there brought me in to the point where I was like mesmerized. I couldn't believe that show had that kind of quality. It just tripped me up, man. I was like, holy shit. And the performances, I thought, for the most part, were amazing. What really freaking bothered me, though, I mean, I know the highlight part, but the point that I didn't like was Ellen Page was dialing it in from some zoned out joint.
A little too melodramatic, kind of like. But I think that was supposed to the point of that character in that relationship was a little. That was the weakest point.
You're supposed to take her. You're not supposed to. Again, going in, I had done a little research because I kind of knew where her arc was going, and
I knew nothing.
I see. I'm more interested in your take because I kind of knew what they were going to do with her, so it didn't bother me as much probably as you because I knew they're going to have to curtail a lot of her stuff because the twist of her is the big reveal of the show. But I mean, to me, she didn't bother me as much as certain other things.
Well, here's the caveat for that because like the last 2 episodes, I liked that she was so bland.
Right.
It was just the whole time of her being bland kind of like threw me off too much. A little too much, because the last 2 episodes I thought with her were great.
Yeah.
Those
were highlights. That was another highlight.
You think if she was more likable, that twist would have hit harder?
They should have. I don't know what they should have done. Flesh her out a little bit more. Give her more time to emote or something because she always had that same. I don't know. Everybody else was so dynamic, and she just kind of rode that rail. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was just the way the character was written, and I felt like the relationship between her and the dude from Overlord was like probably the weakest part of the show for me. But again, that's nitpicky. I watched the show again this weekend. I just had it on, and I liked it better the second time around than I did the first time around.
Sure.
So
number 5 is my highlight.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Breakout performance by Aidan Gallagher.
Klaus was freaking amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, he was freaking amazing. But my God, that kid.
Yeah, he owned
The
that
boy.
part.
The boy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. He freaking owned that whole show.
Yeah, it was.
Like-
it was a breakout performance for the show. He'd only done a few Nickelodeon shows before
Yeah,
this.
I didn't recognize him.
So,
He's really good.
That was it, man. But he
He looks
inhabiting
like
a
that dude
50
from White Castle. You know,
White Castle?
I can't remember his name.
Insert
man.
White Castle clip.
Yeah, he's like blazing on the couch before they leave. Like I forget his freaking
from Harold
name.
and Kumar.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
David Krumholtz.
Yes, that's it. That's
David
the guy.
Krumholtz.
Yeah, you got
Okay.
it.
But no, Aidan Gallagher. This is a breakout role for that. He had to inhabit a 58-year-old man in a 13-year-old's
It was
body.
epic.
So yeah, time traveling smartass assassin.
You know what the greatest part about it was?
Hmm.
Like, he could have gotten any kind of freaking outfit he wanted to get. You know, he
the
could have put a
schoolboy.
suit on. He could have done anything. You know, he's 60 years old,
Hmm.
but he wore that fucking schoolboy.
Well, that's all he had in his
uniform.
closet. They made a point of
but not
showing
after
that,
the
yeah.
second day. Not after the
True,
second
true.
day. That's
But,
my point.
yeah,
Like,
it's a comic book show.
even
What
when
do you
he
want? Right.
even when he went to work for the freaking time travel agency, he still wore that uniform.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, I don't know. That was awesome.
Those cute little shorts as his handler.
I mean,
was
I
super
remember the SNL sketch where it was like Wes Anderson's X-Men, and this show feels to me like X-Men through Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah,
Even
Yes.
with
I could see that.
Even
Okay.
with the incestuous
Super
brother or sister.
dysfunctional.
And like the fact that you have this kid. I could have watched like this show is essentially a mismatch of great ideas by themselves that could have been a show. I could have watched Vietnam Seance show. I could have definitely watched 58-year-old child in a Time Bureau show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have watched Time Bureau Assassin show. I could have watched Child Superhero show.
Yeah.
And they're kind of all kind of mixed in.
Bunch of
together.
really great ideas.
Really great ideas.
Good job,
Mixing.
Way. Good job, Way. But yeah, so this kid Gallagher, though, he's kind of like a renaissance. I mean, he plays a lot of music. He's got his own YouTube channel. He plays a lot of music. He's the youngest ever UN Environment Goodwill Ambassador.
What?
So
Youngest ever.
he's like
Yeah,
an
15 years old.
adult in a kid's body.
Yeah,
for real.
so-
58-year-old man in his body, real?
So he's kind of like this old soul, and so he really embodied the part. But between number 5 and Klaus,
Yeah.
when they were together,
Yeah.
when they were at that the prosthetic
Yes.
thing, that
The
was
Fight Club scene where
oh,
That
yeah,
was-
smash your head.
oh,
Oh, world peace.
That was so fucking
Great,
man.
great.
Great homage,
stuff.
man.
And then I have to go. I want to mention the Tiffany dance. I think we're alone now in the first episode where they panned out and showed everybody.
The
in different
dollhouse.
rooms.
that was the
It
Wes
was-
Anderson-y moment for me.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's where I was.
yeah.
That's
That's where
why I
they
was
turned the
bringing that
house
up.
into a dollhouse.
Yeah.
But that was
basically.
such a great shot.
I think we're alone now. The beating of our hearts is the only sound.
And
was.
it showed how, even though they're family, it kind of like spoke volumes, how they're all separated from each other at that point. And but they're all back
But they're
together.
all connected.
Right. All right. So, William, let me ask you this: what was we already touched on a couple of things, but what some nitpicky things for you?
Well, I kind of already went into my nitpicky area. I didn't have a lot. I guess to say what else really bothered me, just maybe really is a strong word, a little bit. The lulls. There were a lot of places where the pacing kind of fell apart, where it got a little bit too slow for too long. I enjoyed that when it worked, I guess, but they kept doing it in a lot of episodes, and there were a lot of points where I was like, all right, guys, come on. Like, just cut it. Like, I know you're trying to make 45 minutes or 50 minutes or whatever the hell the runtime is, but if you can't do, I would rather you just gave me a 30-minute show than stretch that shit out and give me all this filler. That's my downside about every fucking TV program, though.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, it could have been 60. They could have been 60-minute episodes, which I'm glad they kind of didn't do because of that reason. For that reason,
I would rather, since we're doing this whole like new field of like binging and you're getting what you want and there's no real censorship, I would rather that they just abandon the time frame too.
Make a story as long as the story
Exactly,
needs to be.
exactly. Like
Mr. Robot in a Game of Thrones kind of plays with that because sometimes therell be episodes that are really long and sometimes there'll be episodes next week that are shorter and stuff like that.
I would rather have that with a really compelling storyline than I absolutely hate filler in anything. I hate filler episodes too, where they try and make a certain number of episodes and then 1 or 2 episodes is like
CW, Arrowverse.
Yeah, I cannot stand that.
100%.
Like if you're
that's why I stopped watching that show.
either make it episodic, the whole damn series, or if you're gonna do an overlying arc over the whole freaking season, then you can't have filler episodes.
Yeah.
They're pointless.
Well, I didn't feel like I didn't feel like there were any complete filler episodes. There were some filler moments in episodes, but not complete. I didn't. At least I didn't feel that way.
There was one that was
moved
pretty
along pretty
close
well
to
for
a
me.
filler
Okay.
episode. I mean, I know the whole relationship with him and with Luther and Allison is like everybody's big go-to moment, but it's incest. I don't care what anybody
It was
says.
a little weird, man. That's why I was going to bring that up.
Royal Tenenbaums, Luke
Hey.
and Gwyneth Paltrow, Luke
Yeah.
Wilson and Gwyneth Paltrow, same kind of thing. So
Sure,
Well,
sure.
they
I mean,
spent the whole
it's a dysfunction.
episode-
It fits the dysfunctional family thing, but listen, they were still
Clueless,
adopted
Alicia
since babies.
Silverstone and Paul Rudd, they were brother and sister where they end up together at the end.
It,
They're
unless
still
you
babies.
imagine that as an orphanage, there's no other way to think of it.
But they were raised. They keep calling each other brothers
They-
and sisters.
yeah, you
They're
can't-
like,
you can't
They're
call
not
your- yeah.
related.
All right. Well, for me, I have to say that there was.
But that's a little my shit. Is
Yeah,
really
my
low.
my nitpicks are very minor as well too. I thought that there was some derivative stuff that we've seen in other episodes. I mean, listen, it's a spinoff of X-Men. You can't really get away from that one. But I mean, yeah, the "Don't Stop Me Now" from Shaun of the Dead. That's like, yeah, it kind of took me out of that episode. It was at episode 2 where they were shooting up the department store at 5. Cha Cha and Hazel.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, listen, the scene was great.
Yeah.
But the choice of
Song
music,
choice, yeah.
the song choice kind of took me off because it made me think of the of something else, you know.
Right.
But Hazel and Cha Cha's masks were pretty awesome, I have to say. I like that.
Freaking great.
I like that image of them with the black suits and the cartoonish masks.
Yeah, man.
Another derivative thing was going back to Hazel and Cha Cha was Hazel using the cattle gun a la Anton Sugar.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
to
Yeah,
punch out
to-
the lock to the Umbrella Academy. Luther's fake muscles at points looked like foam,
That's
like he was
where
just
the-
wearing.
that's where the budget you
Yeah, that's
see
where it
the-
took a little
the
dip.
crease.
I mean, listen, in the comics, he's supposed to have a full head transplant onto a gorilla's
Sure.
body.
An alien gorilla,
A Martian gorilla.
So, okay, I'm glad they changed that because that
Right.
would have been maybe a little too ridiculous.
I'm on the other side of that. I really would rather have seen like that head transplant.
Yeah.
Like because that was cool.
And that would be even more of a look what father did to you. That's like, you're not
Yeah.
even- are you even you anymore?
right.
Yeah, because right
more
now
of a
I'm
horror
think-
kind of
Right, right.
thing.
Right now I'm thinking, well, he's still got the superpowers. He's just got like ape DNA. Like then it would have been like, dude, you literally don't have your like that ape is now your new ability.
Right.
Freaking
That'd
epic.
be very close to Doom Patrol. Maybe that's why they did it, because Doom Patrol, Brendan Fraser's character is just a brain in a robot's body.
Right, right,
so
right.
it might be the same issues that they'd be working around. So, yeah, this is
Well, I
getting
kind of wish. I
little
also
stuff.
kind of wish, like I said, at points, like the fake muscles looked really, really fake, you know. And also, it was kind of weird seeing his like skinny legs. So I kind of wish they had filled it out a little more of a suit, like all the way down. I don't know. Anyway,
I'm
like
not-
I said, I'm being real nitpicky with that stuff.
I'm not sure
'Cause-
it's an issue with budget though. I just think that that's an issue with whoever designed that suit.
Yeah,
I mean,
so hopefully in season 2, maybe they'll upgrade that a little bit. I'm also hoping in season 2 you see more Reginald Hargreeves backstory, more of the alien stuff.
they touched on
more
it,
of
and
the
it was
horror.
epic.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
All the people
Those-
leaving the planet.
Yeah,
and
all the
stuff.
spaceships
Yeah.
taking off. I would like to see more of the horror because I thought that was one of the cooler characters.
Right.
You know, Ben Hargreaves.
Yeah,
and
that-
also go into how he died because that's not touched on. I don't even think it's touched on in the comics.
No,
That's-
it's still not known.
It's
Yeah.
not- okay, because I was gonna look it up. I was like, how did
No.
he die in the comics?
There is no story.
Oh,
It's
wow,
just
okay.
everybody blames Luther, but the runners have said that that in the show it's a little bit of everybody had something to do with that.
Oh,
So-
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I love this show, and
Yeah.
I highly recommend everybody go watch it.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't already, binge it twice like I did.
If you haven't watched it already and you're watching this, you're a fucking idiot. So
Give them the
no, you're very smart for watching this. Very smart for watching.
Somewhere somebody from Netflix is watching this going, yes.
I love watching spoilers before I watch the show.
Damn fools. You damn fool. I'm more of the like it than love it, but it's compared to other comic book shows we have out there right now.
Sure.
It's in the upper echelon.
Oh, for sure.
Especially with the budget. Holy crap.
Oh,
I'm still-
the last episode alone,
I'm still
budget.
jealous of the budget.
I just want to say that freaking moon.
Oh, that was like
Really?
so cool, man.
See, you were amazed. I was like, really? They blew up the moon? I can't get Daredevil to get the scene that's nowhere in his apartment, but I got a moon exploding and Umbrella Academy. God,
Dude,
Me
the
watching-
way that whole part just like hit the side of the
Yeah,
earth.
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
this is deep
did you
impact.
see the atmosphere like wrap around?
Oh,
it?
man,
it
they-
was so detailed.
Me
and
watching that
cool,
last
man.
year was like,
Oh, it's not fair. Matt Murdock, it's not fair. It's not fair.
I only get buried under skyscrapers.
That's all I get. That's all I get.
I get long no one take.
I wear my
scenes.
costume 4 times, 3, 4. I don't even know what number it is anymore.
I'm not even allowed to look people in the eye. God damn it! All right,
Right.
guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you guys dug it because we dig everything.
Sure,
we do.
sure.
Yeah. So get your domino masks out and head on over to miscastentertainment.com and buy some of our damn merch. I'll put some cool shirts on there that are Umbrella Academy related.
Oh,
How about that?
Ooh, let's do it.
What? Check
We'll call it
back.
Parasol Academy.
The Parasol Academy. Check back in a couple of days, and I'll even chuck a promo code in the description.
Oh, you
Bum,
lucky
bum,
bastards.
bum. All right, y'all. You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button if you dig our content. And if you like hitting subscribe buttons, ring that there little bell so that you get notified of our content. And until the next time, peace.
I think we're alone now. Doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Always goes Pulp Fiction. Every time, he always goes Pulp Fiction.
Tom Hopper, what's this? I want to know what this is.
Netflix's Umbrella Academy just released, and now we're going to review it right now in the Miscast Academy.
Oh, do you know how much bad luck that is? Are you crazy?
Just call me Mary Poppins.
She's a witch, man. She's not even real.
He's so pretty, oh so pretty.
That's West Side Story. Does anybody know musicals here?
Is it West Side
I
Story?
think it's West Side Story.
Fiddler on the fucking roof.
I Feel Pretty is West Side Story. I'm going to say a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go.
We don't know our movies around
I
here.
noticed. I've noticed.
This shit's gonna be at the end. It's gonna cut at the fucking umbrella.
Want to do one more take just in case?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right.